Hey folks, hope you're all doing good today. It's your old Yankee there living in the South. I'm going to try to make some pone bread, also known as biscuit in a skillet. Never done it before. I'm going to give it a whirl, see what happens. But let me try it out and see how it goes. But let me show you what I got, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do and see if we can throw it together for you folks. Alright, we got 2 cups of self-rising flour. And I sifted it, get all the lumps out. I got a 1/2 cup of Crisco shortening. And I've got some buttermilk. And I'm going to put just a little tablespoon of sugar in there, just to sweeten it up a little bit. And I'm also going to add about 1/2 stick of butter. And I'm going to combine that all in there with this fancy little tool I got here for chopping it all up till it gets like a cornmeal-y, grainy thing. And then we're going to add the liquid to it, the buttermilk, and make it into a kind of a soft, wet dough. And we're going to pour it all into this here black iron skillet, and we're going to put it in my little oven there at 400 degrees and see how it comes out. Yeah, we're going to give it a whirl. Like I said, I've never done it before, but let me get it set up and see what we can do with it. Alright. Let's see if we can give this a whirl here and see how we're going to turn out. Alrighty. So, first thing we're going to do is, before I get too carried away, we're going to cut my cold butter up into little cubes here so it'll work better. The colder the butter, the better it'll work. But this is a old school recipe thing that they used to do in the old days, I guess. The cast iron skillets was pretty regular. So, alright, I can get it rolling here and see what we got. First of all, we're going to put into our self-rising flour, we're going to put a 1/2 cup of lard, Crisco, call it whatever you want, but anyways, it's fat. And shortening. Get it all out of there, get it in there. Alright. Get that bad boy in there. Get it kind of fluffed around. Chop it up some here. Get it all mixed in. We want to get a cornmeal-y texture to it. So now that we got that kind of chopped up a little bit in there, I'm going to go ahead and put the butter in there. See if we can chop these bad boys up. This pastry cutter works really good for doing this stuff. Alright. Doesn't take too long with this cutter. It gets right in there and chops it up quick. Like I said, we're just looking for kind of a cornmeal-y texture. I guess while I'm mixing that up right there, we're going to give it a maybe a tablespoon of sugar. Give it a little sweetness there in there. Like I said, this is kind of like a huge biscuit. A lot of the old, I guess in the Appalachian, that where it probably originated from, I think, it's called pone bread. Don't ask me what that means. I ain't got a clue. I ain't had a chance to look it up. But we're going to find out. As soon as I get time, I will look it up. We'll get it all in there, like that right there. Let's clean this thing off here. Yeah, we're doing pretty good here. Like I said, the colder the butter, the better. I probably could have even put the Crisco in the refrigerator for a little bit to stiffen it up some, but I think everything's looking pretty good here. Ain't got to be super perfect by any means. I think we're pretty much there. Alright, so let's clean this thing off. Alright, so I don't know if you can see that quite well in there. It's all like cornmeal-y, broke up. Okay, next step, get me a spoon out here, because we need half a cup. Once I find my half cup going on here, let me find a new one. That one has been used. This looks like 2/3. Half cup. I'm gonna put half a cup buttermilk. Half a cup of buttermilk in there. We're gonna start with that anyways. See where we're at. Just fold it all in there. Don't want to really stir it too much. You want to fold it. It's looking like we're going to need a little more, because this don't look quite wet enough. Yeah, I'm thinking we need just a tad bit more liquid in there. A little more buttermilk in there. Get it mixed in. Get it a little wetter looking. There we go. Get it rolled in there. All mixed in. I don't think that looks too bad right there. Like I said, it's a lot like a biscuit. It's made in a skillet, but being that it's made in a skillet and it's one big thing to cook, you definitely need a little extra moisture in there so it don't dry out, so you're cooking the whole thing. Alright, so next, before I get too carried away, I'm going to use a little bit of spray lube here. We're going to make sure the pan is lubricated up. Alright, then I'm going to go turn my oven on here. I should have done that before I got started, but I didn't. So we're going to bake for the 400 degrees. This only takes about 18 to 20 minutes. Alright, here we got going on here. Get my cast iron skillet out. And we're going to lob that right into the middle. Scrape it all up good. Get it all out of there. Don't want to leave any behind. And then just kind of spread it out in the pan. It's going to rise. Come on then. Let go. Alright. See if we can spread this around a little bit in here, so it'll be even. I would have thought it'd been a little more in there than what it is, but I guess it's going to work. Squash it around. I'm thinking the next time I do this, I might put a little more to the recipe. Could have been even a little wetter by the looks, but we'll see. Like I said, this is my first time around, so if it don't come out, folks, you're going to know as well as I do. Get it in there. Okay. Let's kind of scrape the num-nums all off in there. Alright. And I think, before I get too carried away with it, I'm going to throw a little bit of butter in my pan here and melt me just a little bit of butter so I can brush it over the top. Maybe it'll make a nice little golden crust on it, but let me get that butter melted and I'll be back. Alright there, folks, let me see what I can do here with this butter. We got it melted down a little bit. I'm going to just try to, well, let's go with a spoon, see how that'll work. Just going to try to drizzle some over the top here, that's all. Ain't going to take a whole lot, but just enough to kind of move it around a little here. Oh, I hear a beeping. That means my oven must be preheated. Just gonna kind of spread this butter around a little bit. Might give it a little golden top on it. So, once again, we don't know what we're doing. This is all new. It's an experiment. But we're gonna find out, and you're gonna be here for the ride along with me. All right. We got some butter on the top. All right. I heard my beeper go off on my oven over there, so it says it's preheated enough, 400 degrees. We're gonna go pop it in the oven, and I'll let you know what happens here shortly. I'll give you a little update here, folks. The bread's cooking, but the old Yankee here has got CRS at times, and I was supposed to put a cup of buttermilk in there, not a half cup. That's why I had to add a little, but I still didn't add as much as what it was supposed to be. So let's hope for the best and hope it comes out right. As far as the Pone Bread thing, I couldn't find much on what pone means or so forth, but it's an Appalachian thing. So it was used back in the old days in skillet bread, basically what its meaning was. And that's what they used to do, is cook it in a skillet. It's like a big biscuit in a skillet. So mine is probably going to come out a little drier and crumblier because I didn't have enough moisture in there like I was supposed to have. It's not going to be as fluffed up and fluffy like I was kind of hoping it was going to be. But let's find out when it gets there. It's still cooking, and I'll let you know how it goes. Alright folks, we're back. Give this thing a whirl and see what it's like. It don't look half bad, but it does look a little dry and crumbly. But now some people like a dry biscuit. I'm not a big dry biscuit fan. I like my biscuits fat, fluffy, and puffed up. But let's see what this looks like when I get cut into it. Worst case scenario, I can always, well, I don't feel too bad. Worst case scenario, I can put it with a lot of jam or some maple syrup, or actually I got some chipped beef here hanging around in the cupboard. I probably could make some chipped beef and gravy to go on that, and that'd probably be plenty of moisture for it. But let's see what's going on in here, if I can get a piece out of there. I'm going to have to use something bigger than that. It's definitely falling apart, ain't no doubt about that. So that, the part of being dry is definitely there. But alright, there's what we got. It don't look too bad. Yeah, it's just a little dry. It just don't stay together so well, but it don't look half bad. It just didn't puff up enough, like I said. But I did find another recipe online, and I might try that one. The other one includes some eggs and more flour. So it'd probably fill the whole pan, which is more what I'm looking for anyways. But that's not going to be half bad. That's, you know, it's soft in the middle. It's still soft. It's not dry. I think it's going to work. So anyways, I'm not going to write this off as a total fail, but I ain't going to write it off as one of my better recipes either. So we'll go with that, folks. And anyways, tomorrow's Easter, folks. I hope y'all have a blessed day. I hope you enjoy it with family and friends. And remember what this season's all about. He died for us so we could have eternal life. And that's the best thing ever. So yeah, folks, y'all have a good Easter and a blessed day.